Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and wisdom from Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition on how to slay a dragon. Alright, so I think this is only probably this is the first time I've ever seen this in Dungeons & Dragons where I, as a player, with a player character, slew a fully ancient red dragon, right? It was done with a pure classic team, right? Wizard, human, wizard, rogue, cleric, fighter. So I was playing a human fighter in this game. I was really shocked with how this went down because basically it really surprised me on how a dragon could be slain in Dungeons & Dragons. But I think there's a lot of wisdom here, right? So here's what happened. So I'm playing in this game. The Dungeon Master is... so I'm playing a human fighter. And we're at 8th level, right? Dungeon Master says, okay, basically, and we're playing in Faerun, and Phandalin is, and by the way, this is not in my Omni DM game. This is in a different game. And this is all, the entire story is coming from one Dungeon Master, right? I was really shocked with how this came out, and I was shocked with this wise solution that was given to me by another Dungeon Master. So let's get there. So we're in Phandalin. That's where our launch point for our crew, right? Our fighter, rogue, cleric, wizard crew, and we're all at 8th level, right? So the Dungeon Master introduces an ancient red dragon in the mountains that are to the north of Phandalin, right? I think they're about 50, 60 miles up, right? So he has this ancient red dragon come in, and the ancient red dragon just like destroys half of Phandalin. Uses its breath weapon, kills like half the miners that live in Phandalin, right? And then about another quarter didn't die from the breath weapon of the dragon, but died from the fires that the red dragon created with its breath weapon. Right? I was like, holy cows, right? So the way this really hit home for our player characters was we would go to the Stonehill Inn, and at the Stonehill Inn in Phandalin, there was a server by the name of Chezrin, right? So we come over, and we're going through the bodies, and all these bodies have their scarves and their hoods and their cloaks over their face, right? Because they were trying to escape the smoke, right? So they were trying to, so they wouldn't breathe the smoke, right? But all their faces are covered with their cloaks, their scarves, their shirts. So we're actually pulling down these cloaks, scarves, tunics, and seeing who's died, and we find Chezrin, right? Well, all of us are furious, right? We're like, this red dragon has killed Chezrin. The server who brought us our mead, the server who brought us our mutton, the server, who would always give us the extra butter, we're like, this is wrong, right? So, so the cleric's like, let's go slay that dragon. Right? And the Dungeon Master's like, no. Dungeon Master's like, he actually says, just so you guys are aware, like this dragon is, this wasn't the point of this dragon's attack. I wanted to, put a little. You guys aren't supposed to go kill this thing, right? And we're like, what? And he's like, well, I just want you to understand that you're in a dangerous world. Faerun is a dangerous world, and there's a dragon that lives 60 miles, up, and you guys should go to Neverwinter and probably get a team of 100 people to go slay this thing. And we're like, we're not doing that. We're going to go slay this dragon right now, right? And that's exactly what we did. We ran right up to, its lair, went inside its lair, and my character died, and the rogue died, and the wizard and the cleric drug us back to Neverwinter, traded our magical items, and got us resurrected, right? Then we went right back, right? And this time, I died again, and the other 3 escaped, right? And at this point, the DM's like, you guys aren't meant to. He said you can come back 2 to 4, levels later and slay this dragon, right? And the session ends, right? And so all of the players got together for pizza to discuss, and we're like, we got to kill this thing, right? How are we going to do it, right? And so we didn't even have a solution, right? Like, we ended our pizza session with no solution. So I was talking with then I started talking with one of my buddies separately from the group, and he's a dungeon master, and he goes, well, your problem is you took the same heroes with the same weapons, to kill the dragon that had defeated you twice, right? What you need is new heroes with new weapons, right? And I was like, well, we can't get new heroes. We got, 4-player cases. You absolutely can get new heroes. And he says, just tell your dungeon master that you want to roll new heroes. And he said, it's not appropriate to ask for higher level, but you go right on Reddit and you will find a dragon slaying team of 4 8th level player characters that can take down a red dragon. And he was 100% right. There were multiple configurations, right? So I went back to the players and I'm like, we'll ask the DM to roll these up on the next session. So we come in and we're like, we all want to roll new characters, right? And we want to go slay the dragon. And the DM's like, are you out of your mind? He's like, you all have story elements that I've already baked into this campaign, right? And we're like, no, this dragon needs to die, right? This is what we want to do, and this is the way we want the campaign to go. And he's like, well, I'm not going to, that's ridiculous, right? And we said, well, okay. And then one of the other players is like, Scott found this new game, Viking Death Squad, can we play that? And the guy's like, I could believe it. He's like, and literally, he looked down at his sheets for 15 seconds and said, let's start rolling your new characters, right? Like, so he didn't want to lose his game, which I totally get. Like, I was amazed, right? And so we rolled up our new characters, and sure enough, we were able to slay the dragon. So if you need to slay a dragon, right? If there's a dragon, and that dragon comes and takes the lives of the people in your city, and then, and people even die from the smoke of it, right? Like just the smoke from the flames it's made, right? And, have to cover their faces, in order to not choke to death from smoke and die with their faces covered. If you need to slay that dragon, Dungeons & Dragons gives you the way to do it. You find new heroes with new weapons, because the old heroes with old weapons aren't going to get the job done. All that's my opinion. What do you think? How would you have fixed the same problem? How would you have slain an 8th level dragon, an ancient red dragon, with 4 core 8th level characters? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.